We're in the Struil Arts Centre on a snowy Saturday morning at the end of January, and we're having a debate here in Omagh about the merits or demerits of a United Ireland. With an excellent panel, some people who have very definitive views on either side and others who are more open-minded. So we've a great panel assembled here. Michael Burke, the economist, Pat Fahey, local solicitor, Sinead Niamh Warnock, local Irish language promoter. We also have Linda Irvine, who promotes the Irish language in East Belfast, and we have two MLAs from the Unionist community, and Tom Buchanan, DUP, and also John McAllister, independent Unionist from South Down. So we're about to have a debate here in the Struil Arts Centre all about a United Ireland. Does it make sense? Is it inevitable? And there might even be a row.
As a young person, I think the fact that it was chaired by Sinn Féin, it was great that Sinn Féin and DUP were here together. I felt it was an open debate, and it gave a sense of all sides could be heard. And I think it would be good to actually see this type of a debate in a community where you would get more of the Unionists or maybe the DUP voters in. So maybe we'll see that in the future. I think it's important at things like this that a voice of maybe a younger person and an Irish speaker is important to be heard. Well, I was actually surprised by how much everybody talked about the Irish language, and I think maybe Tom didn't realise that he's going to get everybody angry at him, but I think it raised the debate, and it made it clear, or made it maybe got more side out of Linda of what her side was and where she stood, and I think hopefully it maybe got Tom to realise that there's no malice, there's no nobody's trying to attack him with the Irish language. It's just there, and it's something we're proud of.
Well, I think it shows that there's still that strong division between nationalists and unionists, and again, as we feel it, there's no appetite for a United Ireland. Sinn Féin may well say there is, they may well continue to peddle that, but I think when we look at the facts and figures, it's clear that there's not.
Do you think this type of engagement, whatever the issue, is good?
Well, BT always says it's good to talk.
Well, I have to say I was slightly apprehensive about coming for sort of a United Ireland debate. My first reaction was, oh God, I'm better staying out of that, But no, I thought it was important to come along and put across a reasonable voice, because I am, a member of the Unionist community, and I think it's important to show that it's not just all about no without any thought. And I think one of the main things that struck me was really that I do feel that Sinn Féin are now up in the ante and are going to be pushing, and I feel then it's the place of people within unionism to sell the sort of the United Kingdom as something positive, and that's not going to come about by saying no. I enjoyed very much listening to John McAllister because he's got a reasonable point of view, and I'm sure even people in the audience who don't have that point of view can agree that it is a reasonable point of view. But sadly, I just feel Tom, and it's no disrespect to him, but it's the old narrow rhetoric, and it alienates me, and I'm from the Unionist community, so what on earth is that saying to people from the Nationalist community?
I thought it was an excellent debate. I'm delighted that there were representatives from the Unionist community there today, because that's a real debate and discussion. My basic point is that United Ireland makes everyone better off. The existence of the border cuts off trade, it cuts off investment, particularly for the North, and it cuts off economic development and prevents it. If you remove the border, you allow fundamental forces of economics to work. The division of labour haven't worked before in Ireland because the whole of Ireland used to be a colony, but removing that allows Ireland to develop economically as we see with all former colonies, and where the North was much more prosperous than the South, but those days are long gone. Average living standards in the South are about 20-25% higher.
I think it's a very important debate. It's an engagement with unionism, both of the independent variety and also the DUP, and also with Linda Irvine. So I think, as we look towards what I consider to be an inevitable consequence, and that is a United Ireland or a new Ireland, we have to be engaging with the Protestant Unionist community so that we can work out structures of society which will be to the benefit of all the people of the country. There was a good cross-section of people there today from the Protestant community as well. People who, I would say, certainly not Sinn Féin voters, people who are now starting to listen to the arguments and to come to realise, as one of the speakers said today, that on the agenda of the British government, this part of the UK rates very, very lowly. And you know, really, I think thinking people are coming to the realisation that we need to sit down and we need to discuss our future in constructive and in positive terms.
Today's debate was very good. I mean, it actually is one of the things I think that is good for us as a society, still very often, is just having these debates. The atmosphere in it, you know, it was friendly, it was generous, it was warm in the sense that everybody knew that who they were likely to agree with and who they weren't going to agree with. But that didn't stop a fairly lively debate and discussion and people firing out different ideas. You know, everything from not just about a united Ireland, the reason to want to stay in the Union, but also the upcoming referendum in the EU and the Brexit campaign. All of those things, the importance of Irish language to some people, and how even our own language round issues like that can offend, and maybe much more than some people would realise. All of that, I think, came out today, and that's what was not only interesting to participate, but actually very enjoyable too.
I think today's event was excellent. I'd like to commend Barry McElduff and his team for organising the event. The DUP were in the room today, although I didn't agree with everything that they said. I think it was very positive that they were here and engaging in this important debate around Irish unity. There were a wide range of issues covered today, including the Irish Language Act, jobs and employment, equal rights, the LGBT community. Another thing that was raised today, which was very important for people, is what a new Ireland would look like, and I think that's important. We need to get that out there to people. We need to say what sort of health system we would have, what sort of education system we would have. Today's event was excellent. It was so good to hear such a wide range of issues and such a wide debate from the audience. There was loads of discussion today. It was absolutely excellent, and I can't wait for the next event, and I hope that there'll be more events like this in West Tyrone.